2026 World Juniors are here, and we have our first official watch-along for Team Canada versus Czechia in a crazy rematch. This is the revenge game for Team Canada after last year's World Juniors. This is turning into a great budding rivalry in this tournament with Czechia, who've been, actually a very good team the last little while. I mean, all the teams are really catching up. Gone are the days of Canada winning 5 straight gold medals, but that's good. It's good for the game, and we're excited to get going here. Welcome in, everybody. Some familiar faces, and of course, Prophet, you asked for it. You said, what about the World Juniors? And I said, let's do it. Let's try it. So we got Canada, Czechia on the way here. Should be a lot of fun. And again, like I mentioned, 2 really, really good teams. So I'm excited to see what happens in this one. But let's get some score predictions going here. This is a really, really good Team Canada. I'm very excited to see what they do. So let's get some score predictions going, guys. And hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Let me know if you can't. I will... Hey, Crankbait, what's going on? What's going on, man? Yeah, these Maple Leafs won't let us down, hopefully. We'll see. Michael Misa, we got Porter Martone, ladies and gentlemen. I think Canada wins this one, but it's going to be a tight one. I think it's 3-2. It's going to be tight. Gavin McKenna, Porter Martone. We got Michael Misa. Luchenko is up there. Luchenko, excuse me. We got Ben Danford, Toronto Maple Leaf, Ben Danford on the blue line for Team Canada as well. This should be a very exciting one. So I'm taking Canada 3-2. I think it's going to be tight. We got 4 minutes here till puck drop. And let me tell you, folks, the double IIHF does not mess around with puck drop. It is not like the NHL. So when they say 4 minutes, the puck will drop in 4 minutes. Should be fun. 6-3 for the good guys. Canada 5-1. All right, this is not Germany or Latvia. I think it's going to be a tight game. Czechia is pretty good. Got Adam Juracek back there on the blue line. Should be a good one. Very excited for this one. 5-2 empty net. Let's get some more score predictions. And where's everyone watching from? I assume we're going to get some viewers from all over very soon here as this game gets kicked off. So that'll be a lot of fun to see and kind of talk about. We got some fun stuff planned at the intermission as well. I want to use this as a spotlight. This stream as a spotlight as well. And you guys will see what I'm talking about come the intermission. This will be a lot of fun. So very, very excited for that and for this game to get underway, because watched a lot of the World Juniors last year. There's been some years where I've kind of not paid as much attention. Watched a lot last year. I thought Team Canada was decent. They had some holes. This Team Canada, to me, I'm very excited about. I think this is a very good team. I think they left a lot of really, really good players off the team as well. I think their goaltending is as good as almost any other in the tournament. Crankbait's at work right now. Gene is watching from Winnipeg. But yeah, I think that they have probably... I think Jack Ivankovic as the backup is crazy, man. Like, he is such a great goaltender. Teams are lining up now, getting ready to go on the ice. Gavin McKenna is still wearing a cage this year. Very excited to see how this one goes, though. Should be a fun game. Porter Martone with the captaincy this year, ladies and gentlemen. Porter Martone is the captain of Team Canada. Ben Danford on the team for any Toronto Maple Leafs fans in here, which I assume is most of you. Cambridge, shout out Cambridge. Carter George going to lead the Canadians on the ice. Juniors watching from Bowmanville, Ontario. Shout out to Bowmanville. I have to say, I've always loved Czechia's jerseys, man. Very, very nice jerseys. Here we go. Jumping on the ice now. No anthems before the game, by the way, remember? You got anthems after the game, so we're just a couple seconds away here from puck drop. Looks like they're going to do some type of ceremony, though. It could be player introductions. But should be a good game here, folks. Yorkton, Saskatchewan. Wow. I don't know where that is, I have to be honest. I know where Saskatchewan is, but... Yeah, we got the red lights. We got the red light. We got the red and white lights back there. That's a Team Canada jersey on the wall as well. Took down the Leaf stuff for tonight. We are all Team Canada tonight. We are all united tonight. That's what this is. We are all united tonight. Let's get all of this. Let's change all the color scheme here. Let's get everything going tonight. Let's go Canada, baby. Let's go Canada. It's in the middle of nowhere. I figured that. That's funny. Martone rocking the C this year, number 22 again. Carter George from Thunder Bay starting for Team Canada. We'll get you the starting goaltender for Czechia here in a second. Michael Orszalak. Plays in the WHL. Also, friendly reminder for everyone that, you know, was dumping on him last year, me included. Dave Cameron is not coaching Team Canada this year. It is Dale Hunter of the London Knights, who is the head coach of the London Knights. And here we go. Just moments away from puck drop here. When I say moments, I mean seconds. Here we go. The rules are so weird in the double IIHF. Here we go. Puck's down, and we are underway for Team Canada. This is the worst camera angle I've ever seen in my life. This is horrific. We'll get used to it, though. This tournament, reminder too, is in Minnesota this year. Canada's coming out hitting. Oh, yeah, nice move. Wow, what a change in pace from the Toronto Maple Leafs, folks. Here we go. Shot on goal. This is going to be exciting. Also, yeah, Profit. Dave Cameron, man. I love the guy. I love the guy because of what he did like years ago. And I'm talking like 15, 16 years ago at the junior level. Not anymore, man. Not anymore. So we'll see what Dale Hunter can do. I mean, there's only so many guys that are going to coach the team, right? So see what he does. Oh, Czechia has it in front. Carter George just made a huge save in front. Puck goes wide. We're going the other way. Quick changes, lots of physicality so far. This is awesome. Travel Well says, read this. Well, read this. There you go, sir. Michael Misa on the ice now. He's out there with Porter Martone, excuse me. A first-round pick of the Philadelphia Flyers last year. Also, one of the best teams in the nation in terms of junior hockey, Brantford Bulldogs. Have 5 players in this game for Team Canada. Sorry, not Team Canada. 5 players in this game in general. Adam Juracek is on Team Czechia. A lot of OHL representation on this team as well. Not as much CHL this year. A lot of guys left for the NCAA. You're going to start seeing a lot of players jump around 18, 19 when they're drafted to the NCAA. The OHL and other junior leagues are going to become younger leagues. Oh, right in front. Oh, just... Michael Hage just missed that. Michael Hage, Montreal Canadiens first round pick. For any Canadiens fans in here. McKenna's on the ice now. Wish we had some Team Canada lines. I'm going to try and bring this up here. Lots of physicality so far to start this one. Looking good. Mark Masters has the lines here. We got a first line of... Play continues here, by the way. Got a first line of Hage, Ginnell, Michael Misa, Porter Martone. Gavin McKenna's on the second line on the wing with Michael Hage in the middle and Brady Martin. Cole Rishney is on the left wing third line with Bodin and Luchenko and Greentree. So we got some... Windsor Spitfires representation here with Braden Coots and O'Reilly. And then on defense, we got Reed, Parekh, Carls, Brunick, NHLer, who like actively plays in the NHL this year with the Pittsburgh Penguins. He was lent to this tournament. Aitchison, who has been fantastic, one of the best goal scorers in the OHL for the Barrie Colts in terms of best goal scorer in terms of defenseman. And he is a New York Islanders draft pick. And Ben Danford is paired with him on that third pairing there, who is, of course, Toronto Maple Leafs prospect and property. And we got Carter George starting in net. Who's going first overall? I think Gavin McKenna probably still. Pending penalty here, coming to Czechia. And we got a whistle. Canada's going to the power play, folks. Now, normally, for those of you who've been around for streams, I would get depressed at this point. But I'm actually quite excited. We actually might see a goal here. We might actually see a goal here. Things have been horrible with the Leafs power play. And I'm used to streaming those. So I'm hoping we see a power play goal here. It would be nice. Oh, one-timer blocked. Knocks escape laid out, so it's essentially a 5-on-3 right now. Taken to the front of the net, can't get it done, and Czechia is going to clear. And the Czech player will make it to the bench. That was unfortunate. That could have been a good opportunity. It was like a 5-on-3 for there for a second. Michael Hage with some moves. Here we go. Get some shots. Get some shots. We got some movement here in the power play. Czechia's back the other way. 2-on-1. Nice save by Carter George. Brady Martin back the other way. Full head of steam. He's by himself. Not really. Passes off to Hage. Hage back to the point. Oh, Parekh puts it right in front. Nice deflection play. He has it back at the point. He doesn't shoot. Oh, they're trying these cross-seam passes through the crease. Ah, that slips past McKenna and goes out to the blue line. Or past the blue line, I should say. Out of the zone. Ginnell dumps that in. Czechia's. Ooh, that looked like they were going to clear. And they do. 40 seconds left here on the Canadian power play. Kind of making their way up the ice here. Bad zone entry. No zone entry, I should say. We went to school with McKenna's mom and dad. That's awesome. Aren't they athletes as well, or am I thinking of somebody else? Is that the right story? I could be thinking of somebody else. Oh, awkward bounce in front. Canada has it in their zone. 10 seconds left here on the power play. Luchenko cross seam to Porter Martone. He misses. Interesting tape job here for Porter Martone. We are back to even strength. Martone tries to get that towards the net. And now it's a breakaway for Czechia. Lots of room. Oh, nice stop by Carter George. We got some action here, folks. This is so much more entertaining than watching the Leafs play. Holy smokes. Shane, what's up? Big save there on the breakaway, man. Big save, Carter George. After some questions about him not just making the team, but being the starter this year. Lots of physicality to this one. The guys are throwing some big hits. Setting the tone early. That's why I love the World Juniors. Great positioning there on that save. Like, no panic at all. That was awesome. Oh, breakaway pass now. Michael Hage. Oh, he just misses the net. That would have been awesome. Just misses on the far side. Actually, that might have been Bodin. Nice save by Carter George. He makes a save on the rebound as well, and it's cleared to the corner. This is fast-paced, guys. This is awesome. Great pass on the... I don't know who passed it up there for the breakaway, but that was beautiful. Denye is in the lineup as well. Canada's rocking, of course, with the double IIHF rules. They can rock 7 defensemen and 13 forwards. Can have an extra. Just in case of injury. It's a little silly, but nice forecheck here by Team Canada. Luchenko has the puck in the far corner. He's biting his helmet strap. Shane, just got off work. Happy for a late start. On my way to the bar to watch it with the boys. Hope you have fun, man. Nice little late start here. 8:30 start. Boxing Day Classic. Lots of back and forth action here. A lot of sloppy play, too. Canada, I would say, has, first of all, set the tone, had a power play, and they look like the quicker and more physical team. Oh, a Czech player just goes right into Canada's bench. Baudouin put him in. Yeah, Czechia looks like they're on their heels. Canada is pushing. This is a great start. Oh, McKenna tries to slip that in front. He can't get it through. Great play by Adam Juracek. 6'3" defenseman. Oh, McKenna. Oh, and he can't keep it in the zone. This fast pace. Wow. Aitchison brings it back in the zone with McKenna. McKenna cross ice to Michael Hage. He toe drag, shoots it, and it's stopped and swallowed up by the Czech goaltender, Orszalak. And this has been incredible. And we got our first commercial break. And we are sent to commercial break on TSN with Lincoln Park. Love to hear that as well. So that is a great first 10 minutes from Team Canada. That was phenomenal. Hopefully, I do wonder if the pace is going to keep up that way, because that was awesome. They certainly set the tone. They are playing better. Czechia, excuse me, certainly look like they're on their heels right now. So excited to see what comes after this commercial break. We'll see what happens. Definitely a lot of back and forth action. Nice little breakaway for each team, too. Both kind of missing the net. Carter George, good positioning there. Love to see that. But we are at commercial break here. Got a bunch of you in here now. Where's everyone watching from? We got the Team Canada stream going here. Team Canada versus Czechia. We're back from commercial now. Lots of action back and forth. Second favorite sport? That's a good question. I think I really... I mean, to watch... Oh, that's a tough one. I want to say probably soccer or football. Like, I really locked in with that. I love baseball as well. Like, man, this Jays playoff run was awesome. Like, I really, really get into baseball. It's hard to watch every game, personally. Throughout a season, but like try to watch as much as I can and follow the Jays. But yeah, I would say either like soccer or I know a lot of what's going on in the NBA as well, but like I don't watch it as much. Watch the Raptors here and there, but I would say definitely baseball or soccer. It's my favorite to watch. Really into international soccer as well. Goots brings it in off side. Yeah, Profit's a good point. I mean, Czechia has... When you think back a couple years ago to the Bedard game, Czechia had more juice, I thought. But then Canada ended up winning. And then last year, Czechia smothered them. It was hard to watch. Never watched baseball, but the Jays have to, of course. Of course. World Soccer would be awesome. I'm very excited for the World Cup. Cheering for both Canada, of course, who are in it this year. And again, they were in the 2022 World Cup as well. And Portugal, as I am Portuguese. All right, so now 10 minutes of nonstop action is followed by 3 back-to-back whistles, as expected, of course. Who's my favorite player, Travel Wells, on Team Canada? Got some bias here, but I would say Porter Martone or Jack Ivankovic, backup goaltender. I would say one of those two if you're talking Team Canada. If you're talking the Leafs, hard to like anyone right now. Got to face off in the Canadian zone. Big hit. Lots of crazy bounces off of these walls. Oh, lucky bounce going in on goal, and it's cleared. John Tavares, that's right. I was watching a replay. TSN was playing a replay of the 2009 World Juniors, and I forgot that they used to call him John Tavares. And it's funny how that's changed ever since he came back to Toronto. He was a monster in that tournament. 2009, they ultimately ended up winning. Ben Danford on the ice right now with Caden Aitchison. No Leaf. The only two Leaf prospects in this tournament are Victor Johansson, who's a defenseman for Team Sweden, and Ben Danford, defenseman for Team Canada. Outside of that, there's just nobody else for the Leafs because they have no prospects. So, no other teams either. So it's just those two defensemen to look out for. Danford looks pretty good too. He's playing on a really good team in the O. Canada's creating some good chances here. Not too many shots on goal, but they're creating some good high danger scoring chances. Puck is flipped out to center. Nice. Michael Hage. Oh, Brady Martin giving chase back to McKenna. They're playing pitch and catch. Michael Hage's down there. This is a dangerous line so far. These guys are skating well. Ooh. I believe that went to Juracek there. That was a close call. Oh, Team Canada collapses. Whoa, smooth skater Galvis there on the blue line for Czechia. Who's getting the Stanley Cup this year? Whoever wins it. I don't know who that is this year. Colorado looks good. Oh, good chance for Canada here. Nice defensive play by the Czech defenders again. Whoa, wow, goalie just got... Whoa, I've never seen this. I've never seen that before. You took the words right out of my mouth, Prophet. Is he okay? Yeah, Toronto got a snowstorm today. Also, guys, this is the 50th World Junior Hockey Championship. 50th anniversary. Crazy. Yeah, lots of snow. Lots of snow in Toronto today. I wouldn't, David, I wouldn't say this was going to be the dominant game. They have some more coming up that I would say. Probably tomorrow night's going to be a blowout. This one, I would not expect that. I think this is going to be like a 3-2 final. Whoever scores first wins 3-2, in my eyes, for this one. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I didn't get the news about Canada's goal horn selection and goal song, so I did prep something. It doesn't sound exactly like what it's going to sound like in the arena, but I will fix it for the next stream I do. But I did prep a little something to play if they score. Hopefully they do here soon. They're looking good. Some high danger scoring chances. Also, I probably should have described it. The net got bumped off its moorings and it came down and hit the goaltender in the head. That's why they stopped playing, went to commercial. Seems okay though. Seems like he's going to be staying in the game. That was a little scary though. Right-handed goalie as well. Right catching goalie. Yeah, freezing rain, lots of snow today. Tough weather. No, we're not in USA's group this year, which means I don't think that means we can play them in the final. I forget what that means actually. We're not in USA's group this year, so I believe it's against Finland, the New Year's Eve game this year. I was looking at the schedule earlier. I believe it's Finland, and I think Latvia's tomorrow. Another shot on goal for Canada. Czechia has more shots on goal, but Canada, to me, has controlled more of the offensive zone play and high danger scoring chances. They just have to put it... Oh, whoa. Martin. Reed just smashed that off the glass. Point blank scoring chance. This is what I'm talking about. High danger scoring chance and smashes it like off the glass. Here we go. Martin drops it for Reed. Cross-site. Too many fancy plays. Got to get to the net. They got to clean this up in the second period. Too many touch passes trying to go cross seam, stuff like that. Behind the back, no looks, all this stuff. They got to clean this up. Simple. And they will. They're going to hear it. But I just hope they don't go down 1-0. Here comes Juracek, the center. He's the most dangerous player to watch for Czechia. He's going to be a special player. Nice save by Carter George. Best Leafs player of all time to me is Matt Sundin. To me. I know everyone has their own opinions. I mean, it's probably, like, to me, it's Matt Sundin. Objectively, it's probably, like, Dave Keon, I guess. In terms of, like, what they've won and stuff like that. Could be Sittler, I think. Canada playing mind games early in the warm-up. Showing some clips here. Going at some of the Czech players in the warm-up. All mind games. All mind games. 90% mental. Martone is a gamer. Philly got a good player. Philly got a good player there. I'm excited to see what he does in this tournament. Flipped out to center by Brunick. That's offside. Yeah. Offside at the Czechia line. Oh, was that last year? Yeah. Yes, the overtime winner. They killed that off too, I remember last year. Boden 5-minute major for kneeing. It's a big hit. Yeah, these two teams do not enjoy each other's company. Oh, terrible bounce off the boards in front. Carter George makes a huge save. Wow. These boards are lively. These boards are lively tonight. That's horrendous. Horrendous. Adam Benak, of course, Brantford Bulldogs as well. Minnesota draft pick, Minnesota Wild. Scores! Brady Martin at the side of the net. What a pass. What a pass from Gavin McKenna. Goal. 1-0 Canada. What a pass. He knows he's there the whole time. He knows he's there the whole time. What a pass. What a goal. Brady Martin opens the scoring for Team Canada in the tournament. This is a good Team Canada. Let's see if they can hold on to this lead now. 1-0 Canada. Brady Martin from Gavin McKenna and Michael Hage. I was telling you guys, this line, they're going. They're going tonight. Watch for this line. Martone knocks it down. He's giving chase now. Not the fastest player, Porter Martone, but in terms of the rest of his game, pretty complete. Obviously, things to learn, but he has everything else. First lead against Czechia in the World Juniors in 3 years. I did not realize that. Not ideal. Martone throws it out in front. One-timer. Oh, blocked by Juracek. Juracek playing defense and goaltender tonight. Got 5 minutes left in this first period here. Ben Danford shoots it in. Got a 4-on-2 here for Czechia. And one guy decides to play hero and deke through everyone. Oh no, terrible bounce again. Big save by Carter. Carter George has made some big saves in this game so far. Like point blank, terrible bounces in front. Excuse me. You're right. USA is... So Sweden, USA, maybe Finland are in contention for sure. USA is not what they were last year. Not to say they're a bad team. Definitely a good team, but they're not the powerhouse that they were last year. Czechia is definitely one of the better teams. They got... Whatever they're doing with that program recently, they're producing some great players. And great teams, too. Like, they're playing a well-oiled system. But Canada definitely up there. This year, I really, really like what they did with the team this year. And they left some really good players off the team as well. Oh, what a pass. Goaltender didn't even see it cross the crease. That was close. Baudouin to center. Kicks it off. Oh, man, he just misses the net. Baudouin got that back inside tight. Czechia is a great team. Yeah. All the credit in the world to them. Good program. Rashni, not loving this third line from Canada. Oh, boy. Carter George gets knocked into the net, and they continue play. Luchenko drops. Shot. Another block by the Czechia defense. Oh, nice toe drag move. Oh, right in front. Nice poke check by the Canadian defense. Oh, deflection in front. That's a goal. It's 1-1. It's 1-1. Nice deflection. I'll give him that. I don't love it, but it was nice. Got some crazy Euro beats going right now. Yeah, I think this game's going to slow down, guys. This has been fast-paced. This game is going to slow down. Get a little bit more controlled, and I think it's a 3-2 final. Could take some overtime. All right, 1-1. That was a tough play in transition. Canada's got to slow it down. They're a good team. They don't need to do the whole track meet thing, and they'll be just fine. Both teams coming out swinging here, though. I like this. This has been entertaining. This is way better than a Leaf game. I can't believe what we've been subject to watch all year. Also, fast first period, that is for sure. Agency gives it away. 2-on-1. Whoa. Oh my god, how did he miss the net? Nice save by Carter George once again. A little sloppy in transition, Canadian defense. A little sloppy in transition so far today. Ben Danford out the center. Drops it to Michael Hage. Michael Hage shoots, scores! Michael Hage. From the slot, from Ben Danford. Ben Danford with the assist, 2-1. Hopefully going into the intermission. Let's go, baby. Oh, we'll get a Holy Mackinac going.
Holy Mackinac!
We'll get a Holy Mackinac going. Love the goal song choice too, by the way. Tragically hip. What a shot. That is a Montreal Canadiens prospect, ladies and gentlemen. That is what is to come for the Montreal Canadiens. What a shot. Right under the bar. Canada's back on top now. 2-1. We got 2:21 left here in the first period. Shots are 11-7 for Czechia. Misa giving chase. Misa Martone here. And out to center. Martone's driving the net. Back to Martone. He tipped it just wide. Ben Danford with the assist on that goal, ladies and gentlemen. Toronto Maple Leafs draft pick. Oh, nice play by TJ Ginnell in front. Oh, they almost scored again. 1:35 left here in the first period. Team Canada up 2-1. Shots are 10-8. They just corrected it for Czechia. How is that not icing? That was definitely icing. Two Canadian players. Whoa, two Czech players just ran into each other. A lot of errant passes to the front of the net from Team Canada. And this has been a track meet so far. This is crazy. Final minute here of the first period. Nice block by O'Reilly there. Here comes Canada off the rush again. Nice play to center. Oh, nice play in front. 5-hole. Where is it? It's under his pad. Oh, nice little move there. Almost another one there. Right through the 5-hole. Nice little move. We're going to commercial with 42 seconds left in the first, guys. Like, what are we doing? That is absurd. They're actually going to commercial with 42 seconds left in the period, dude. Wow. Wow. All right, so what do we think of that period so far, since we got to continue 42 seconds of it when we come back from commercial? What? Why don't you just tack it on to the second period? Let them go to the room. Canada is playing well. More high-danger scoring chances so far to me. Clean chances, at least. Czechia's had some good ones. And they're skating very well. They're playing very physical. They took the game to Czechia, which you love to see. It's good stuff. And you know they want revenge. You know they want revenge for last year. That was Brunick from O'Reilly there. Tried to slip it through the 5-hole. He did. I mean, it was in the 5-hole. It just didn't go through the 5. It's been a very entertaining first period. I would suspect the next two periods are not going to be as quick. They might be, though. That's junior hockey, but we'll see. This has been exciting. We got icing here against Czechia. 35 seconds left here in the first period. Got some fun stuff here planned for the intermission, so don't go anywhere. Want to use this as a bit of a spotlight. This stream. This has been a good first period, man. Goals. Got 3 goals. Both teams are skating very well, creating a lot of scramble opportunities. And goaltenders made some big saves, man. Some big saves. We've had 2 breakaways, 1 for each team. This has been a great first period, man. Great start to the tournament. Parekh in front. Michael Misa doesn't see it, but it's kept in the zone by Parekh. He puts it to the front of the net to Martone. Martone just misses it. We got 15 seconds left here in the... That's a hit from behind, but okay. Ginnell to the... Martone has it in front. He tries to slip it in front. Another... Oh, it's at the side of the net through the legs. That's in. Oh, how did that not go in? That's the period. How did that not go in? Somebody tried to go through their legs there. TJ Ginnell goes through his legs. I would like to see that again. Was this blocked? How did that not go in? Your Czech has done everything for the Czechs this period. Oh, yeah, it goes through the... Wow, the defenseman keeps it in. Where is this guy? TJ goes through his legs, and the defender... Wow, blocks it at the last set. Are we sure that didn't go in, though? I want the overhead look. Oh, he just keeps it out. With his glove. Wow, what a save. What a save, 2-1. That was an entertaining first period, guys. That was amazing. I don't think they're reviewing this. They probably should. If he closes his hand on it, that is a penalty shot. This is a better angle. This is a reverse angle. So through the legs, and defenseman blocks it into the palm of his glove, and he throws it. He palmed it. I don't know if they can review that, Mike Johnson's saying. So that, in theory, is a penalty shot. So no goal on the ice. They're reviewing to see if the puck crossed the goal line. I don't think it did. But that should be a penalty shot. That should be a penalty shot. I don't think they can review this, the covering the puck with his hand thing. I don't think. I don't think that puck went in, though. Oh, yeah, he grabs the puck and throws it out of the net. That's a penalty shot. He threw it in the corner. I thought it hit his shin and went out. No, he threw it out of the way. That should be a highlight reel goal. He also gets cross-checked right in the numbers. He threw it in the corner. It's not in the net. I don't think it's in the net, but that should be a penalty shot. He grabbed the puck and threw it out. We got some action even after the period finishes. Whoa! They're having a look at it, but I don't know what they're looking at right now. All the Canadian players are still on the ice. They have not left the ice for the period. For the intermission, excuse me. Wow, so... Okay, what are they announcing here? Okay, so confirmed no goal, but it's obvious they closed their hand on the puck. Should be a penalty shot, but you can't review that in the IIHF for some particular reason. Martone is talking to the officials right now that they can't review it. Well, that was an eventful first period. That was amazing. All right, guys, we're going to take a little break here. We'll be back for the second period. Got you covered here with some news from around different teams. We got a lot of Canadians in here watching. This is Team Canada, not just the Leafs, but we're going to start with the Leafs, but we're going to use this as a showcase for some other creators as well. But we're going to start with some news about the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they just made a signing this morning. Well, kind of. They promoted somebody from the Marlies. They have a new assistant coach that we're going to see in action against the Ottawa Senators tomorrow. So take a listen into Nick and I's thoughts on this hire and what this means for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Some breaking news to go over today is the Toronto Maple Leafs have made a surprising move. And following the firing of Marc Savard, reports came out that no other move was going to be made. They have changed their mind as Brad Living has made a very interesting signing that has fans split. We're going to break down exactly who this signing is and what it means going forward, as well as a ton of other updates on this episode, ladies and gentlemen. But before we get into it all, Merry Christmas. Hopefully you all enjoyed your holiday yesterday, and thank you guys for your continued support over here. Darius, a lot to go over today, and this wasn't the news I was expecting, or we rather were expecting to break down, and it is a move that at least have made, a hire, and they have added Steve Sullivan as their assistant coach, and he joins the Leafs from the Toronto Marlies. And this is surprising, not because Steve Sullivan is some, wizard who's going to change this team, but it's surprising because there was reports, multiple, that came out after the firing of Marc Savard, basically stating that they're not going to hire another coach. Brad Living even hinted at the fact that right now they're not going to hire a coach. They clearly had a change of heart here. A little bit surprising, but at the end of the day, we'll dive into what his strengths, what his weaknesses are. But Steve Sullivan is on the Leafs coaching staff.
Yeah, and he's a former Leaf. A lot of Leaf fans remember him from, 1999 and around that era as well. So, very familiar with the organization. This is an interesting one. And also stay tuned to the end of this video because we have some World Junior stuff coming up as the tournament starts today. But this is an interesting one to me because, like you mentioned, they said, yeah, we're definitely not hiring anyone 2 days ago. And they technically didn't externally, but they are hiring internally because he was the assistant coach with the Toronto Marlies and he was running the Toronto Marlies power play. Now, you can put a lot of stock into that if you want. Like, we're going to take a look at the numbers. It is the AHL at the end of the day. I don't know if the Marlies have as many weapons as, let's say, the Leafs. So I'm interested to see what he does with the Leafs weapons and like maybe trying some new ideas and stuff like that. So I don't know how much stock I want to put into this, especially because I was under the impression a day ago that we weren't even going to have somebody running the power play. It was just going to be like Derek Lalonde would run the meetings and then they would all talk about it for the rest of the season. So they do have Steve Sullivan in there now doing that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but I have to be honest, I don't expect anything. Like, I don't expect him to shoot up to top 5 in the league all of a sudden overnight or anything like that. There might be a slight improvement, but it's nothing. I don't know. I don't know why they made this move necessarily in terms of like the plan that they had already, but we'll see if he brings some new fresh ideas to the table, and he has some different weapons to work with now.
Yeah, they clearly do like him, and Darren Dreger saying he will fill Marc Savard's vacancy. He's a power play guy, but the power play responsibilities will be shared while Sullivan gets up to speed on the Leafs bench. And this prompted an article from David Alter, which we'll dive into now. And it's, I mean, it's not the most encouraging article, I guess, if you want to put it that way. But you can see here, while the Leafs did not have an immediate replacement behind the bench, the coaching staff clarified that they would evaluate long-term options for the power play moving forward, which I guess they took 2 days to do that. And ultimately, they promoted Sullivan, whereas coaching focused on individual skills and offensive development, just to give you guys some kind of background info on him. But the Marlies power play ranks 22nd in the AHL with a 16% efficiency rate. So, I mean, this is the interesting part. He's been really bad in, I'm not going to say him, I'm going to say the team that he, mans the power play of is really bad in the power play. 22nd with a 16% efficiency rate, which is only 3%-ish better, a couple decimal points difference, than the Leafs, of course. The Leafs had around 13%, and of course the AHL Marlies at 16%. Again, it's hard to compare. It's like comparing apples and oranges here, but at the same time, the Leafs do need new faces in, and if this guy is going to somehow change the way that they view things, I'm not opposed to giving them, another man, another look. But at the same time, it's not like he's crushing it with the Marlies to where he's, third in the AHL or something like that. And they do have some decent guys down in the Marlies that can actually help make an impact. Even some guys, I think in the Marlies, they can make an impact at the NHL level, but 16% is extremely low. And I don't know if it's fair to compare like that, but at the same time, you can see here from Steve Dangle, he's not super happy about it.
No, and you know what? I'm gonna try and remain a little bit optimistic about it because listen, like it literally couldn't get worse. They were last in the league in power play percentage, so we'll see what he brings to the table. But I have to say that description of what Steve Sullivan brings to the table as a power play coach is exactly what Marc Savard's was, if you remember back to a year ago, working on individual skill, these new ideas to the table, right? And then all we got was 5 guys standing around the perimeter passing to each other, and nothing happened. And then they go chase the puck down in their own zone, right? So that's interesting. 22nd in the league in power play percentage. They're 16%. Obviously, the Leafs were at 13%. They're last in the league. So not much of an increase there. But again, it's AHL to NHL. So we'll see how that plays out. You also have to keep in mind that the Toronto Marlies are second last in terms of drawing penalties. So actual power play opportunities, they're second last in the league in getting the actual opportunity to go on the power play. So that's why it might be a little bit lower because they're converting less, but they're also getting less at power play. So if another team's getting like 60 and the Marlies only get 20 and they're only scoring on like 4 of them or whatever it is, whatever that would equate to, obviously the team that's getting 60 is going to probably have a higher percentage. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm going to remain somewhat optimistic because again, it literally could not have gotten worse. So that's interesting. But again, it's a different league. He's going to have different weapons. They got to try something new, which I think sometimes can be exciting, especially for the players too. So maybe there's a jolt there. And the power play did look a little bit better the other day because I think they were more free flowing. So there was less pressure there. So we'll see what happens with this. Obviously, they play tomorrow against Ottawa. It's going to be the first look at that if they even get a power play because the Leafs also are not very high in terms of drawing power plays in the NHL. So very interesting hire. I'm going to remain optimistic because, again, could not have gotten worse.
Yeah, and of course, he has experience, like you mentioned, over 1,000 NHL games. So if there is a benefit here, he has a lot of experience, coaching for the last couple of years, and most importantly, a lot of experience of actually playing at the NHL level. And yeah, it is important to note that they do have the second fewest power play opportunities, which again, that's why they have the third fewest goals. Doesn't really matter though when it comes to their percentage. It's 16% either way, but I guess of course the higher sample size, the more likely it is to even out. So it is interesting on that front. Let us know down below what your thoughts are. Fans are happy that I guess he was hired. It kind of depends because from the player side of things and people who grew up fans of him, it's obviously exciting. At the same time though, we need them to be the power play in general. It just needs to be better. So let us know down below. Do you want the signing, or are you excited about it? Do you think it makes sense? Do you think it's just going to be Marc Savard V2? But Darius, let's quickly transition now into, of course, the World Junior stuff. And you see here, big day in the junior international hockey space, and it is officially kicking off today, the 2026 World Juniors. And the two Leafs who are going to be focused, at least the two Leafs defensemen, will be Ben Danford and Victor Johansson. Big chance for these prospects to showcase. So I'm looking, and all eyes are on at this point, Ben Danford, at least in my eyes. He is going to be one of the guys who I think at this point in time is closest to the NHL level. Might not be this year, probably won't be this year, but in the next year or so. So anything you're looking out for as we approach now, a very interesting, of course, next couple of weeks for this team, but also, of course, for the World Juniors.
Yeah, and I love junior hockey. I've covered junior hockey. I worked in junior hockey as well. And I have to say, you never know how this tournament's going to go. This is a good Team Canada. I'm very excited. And they left a lot of really, really good players off this team. So I hope they know what they're doing. But in terms of Ben Danford, interesting thing to note, no letter this year. Porter Martone is the captain this year of Team Canada. So that's pretty interesting. But like you said, he's going to log a lot of minutes. He's probably one of the closer players to the NHL level, besides the guys that are quite literally at the NHL level or have played in the NHL. So that'll be interesting to watch. He's one of the centerpieces of this team. They're going to be depending on him for a lot of, the defensive plays, those big blocks, stuff like that, and just, moving the puck out of the zone, transporting out of the zone. The goaltending looks really good this year. So, in terms of the Leafs, very exciting with that. And then Team Sweden, obviously.
In what was a very busy last 48 hours surrounding moves for the Leafs after firing Marc Savard, a wild new report has dropped surrounding the future of Morgan Rielly that not only has fans very intrigued, but changes the outlook of this team. And folks, it is surrounding a Morgan Rielly trade. We're going to break down this new report and discuss what it means, as well as some interesting comments from Craig Berube and others following their win yesterday. You're going to want to stay tuned till the end of the video, but before we get into it all, Merry Christmas, everyone. It is officially Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas to those who celebrate, and Happy Holidays, everyone. Obviously, the Leafs have, this is not where we expect them to be at Christmas time, but hopefully you're all enjoying times with your family. Darius, let's talk about some new reports that have dropped. In the midst of everything that happened yesterday, David Pagnotta dropped a pretty big report here. And you can see this here. He said that there was some talk at the end of last season that the Leafs might explore something with respect to Morgan Rielly. I wouldn't be shocked if we start to hear his name popping up again. We'll dive into a bunch of other quotes and reports as well. I just want to start with this. In what was a wild time for at least the last little bit, it was inevitable that at some point Morgan Rielly was going to be brought up. And why not, in a crazy month of changes for this team, shot Morgan Rielly?
Yeah, and there's been a report earlier this season too from, a couple anonymous sources within the league that said Morgan Rielly is still the #1 defenseman of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Are we sure about that? And we're at the point, I think, with Leafs fans as well, that he has been shockingly bad this season, at least defensively. At times, he's been, the last couple seasons, shockingly bad defensively and offensively. But I truly believe, and I've said this in videos, Nick, before, I've said this on live stream, if he did not have a no movement clause, if it was a modified no trade list, whatever it was, he would be long gone under Brad Treliving. I have a feeling that Brad Treliving knows that he has to move him. He has to shake up something with this core. And Rielly fits into the core. Everyone was talking about the core four and all that. Rielly's been here the longest out of anybody, right? So I think that if he didn't have a no movement clause, he would have been gone already. Brad Treliving would have moved him. Now he does have a no movement clause. What do you do with that? Well, coming into the summer, everybody remembers there was the whole chat about how they had a very honest conversation with him about how, he's got to get into better shape, all of these things. And he came in this season and he looked better, at least offensively. But again, I just don't think it's good enough, at least defensively, for Morgan Rielly. And maybe this team needs to look at some other options. And, maybe it's going to come down to, again, I think it would be hard to do this in season, but I think that there could be major changes coming this offseason by way of Morgan Rielly.
And again, he does have a no movement clause, and he made it clear to them in the summer, according to David Pagnotta, that he didn't want to waive that. And he said he wouldn't be surprised if they broached that subject if they haven't done so already. And this, of course, comes in lieu of Brad Living speaking out and saying that they aren't going to trade Austin Matthews. They're obviously not going to trade guys like William Nylander, John Tavares. So if they want to make a big shakeup and not a monumental change necessarily, but a huge change to their team via a huge trade, Morgan Rielly seems like the most likely one. Now, there was also this, and shout out to David Pagnotti. He gave us a lot of tidbits here. He said, regarding the Maple Leafs rumors, it's money in, money out, which is why they're willing to explore moving Max Domi and Brandon Carlo and Matthias Michelli. They need to move out money. And that was on Oilers Nation every day. But this also is kind of directly correlated to Morgan Rielly. He makes more money than all these guys, a ton of money, of course. And at this point, you mentioned it, he has his full no movement clause. Now, if I think there becomes a time where, yes, he of course, decline to waive it in the offseason. If things continue to go badly, there has to be another honest conversation. And that's what David Pagnotta is talking about here, because Brad Living, he was asked about whether, his trade deadline conversations, and he was asked about kind of how they're looking. And he said, how he's approaching it now is that his trade conversations with teams looking to next year and maybe selling off assets, or rather still looking to salvage the season and make a trade to help the team this year. Regarding all that, his answer was clear. He said he hasn't put up a white flag this year. So I don't think a Morgan Rielly trade is going to be for prospects. It's not going to be for picks. He wants to add, and we'll have a full video covering it, but it would be what I'm going to call a lateral move if they move off of Morgan Rielly just for the sake of making change, which at this point, I mean, what's the negative to doing that?
Yeah, it's going to be a roster for roster move at this point, even if it does come down, I think, in the regular season. Now, in terms of money going out and moving money out, that makes sense with a couple of those guys. But Morgan Rielly coming out, you're going to have to replace him with something pretty significant. Like, you want to bring in like a number one guy. It would probably be a bigger trade than we all realize, but you probably want to bring in a guy that can be a number one guy, maybe a right shot defenseman, something like that. We'll see, even though they're not, necessarily that sturdy on the left side without Morgan Rielly. But I think that's pretty interesting. And then when you look at the trade plans, not, waving the white flag or anything like that, he still wants to go after it this year. He still thinks that this team is in the mix. And there's one player in particular we're going to cover in another video on Christmas Day that kind of falls into this and what this could mean, which will be interesting. So stay tuned for that. The content keeps rolling, guys, even on the holidays. But yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. And I think that with Morgan Rielly, again, you bring up a good point, Nick, there probably will be another honest conversation after this season. Like, hey, man, we might have to move you. And they're not in a situation where they can do what, Chris Drury did to Jacob Trouba, let's say, where he had a no trade list. And then he said, I'm going to put you on waivers then. You're going to go down to the AHL and sit there. They can't even do that. He has a no movement clause. And keep in mind, Brad Treliving, he's made some tough moves. That is for sure. He inherited that contract. That was signed by Kyle Dubas, $7.5 million, and he has a no movement clause. I have no idea why a guy like Morgan Rielly gets one. I can understand why Austin Matthews at the time gets one, 100%. I get that. But a guy like Morgan Rielly, that's tough. I don't understand that one. But I think there is a real chance they go, we got to do something here, because Riley's been a part of this core for a long time. Again, he's the longest tenured Leaf at this point, and it's just not working. Maybe it's time to shake something up on the defensive end as well.
Yeah, and obviously looking at his stats, and also I don't think it would be worth necessarily putting him on waivers. Like, he's still a fine player. He's still adding, I think, positive impact. You could probably to this team overall. He's a -8 on the year. The team's been struggling mightily. He's up to 24 points, and we think back to the start of the year, like all these guys were rolling. OEL's having a great year. Morgan Rielly, I mean, it's going to continue to be a question, but let us know down below what your thoughts are. 908 games played, all for the blue and white, all for the Maple Leafs, so it's going to be interesting on that note. But speaking of the Maple Leafs, let's switch it to something a little bit more positive now. Max Domi had a crazy game, and William Nylander spoke out on it. William Nylander, in his own right, had a great game, put up 4 points. But he said that was nasty. I mean, flying and dipsy doodling, and to put it in, it was a huge goal for us too. So it was great. It was a lot of fun to watch. And Berube kind of speaking in the media for the first time since the debacle. And he said, or I guess the second time, he said, we scored tonight. We scored goals. It was good to see Willie do what he did tonight. And other guys like Max with a great goal. But we scored goals tonight, which is a hilarious quote. Yeah, they scored goals here. Actually, I think that is his first time speaking to the media since Mark Savard firing. Let me know down below if I'm wrong on that. But I mean, the vibes are not high, but at least that's better. Like, they got to win yesterday. You were live streaming the game. The Domi goal, my whole timeline was filled with how bad Domi was, and then boom, he scored the goal, and it was still basically filled with that. But of course, this is what we come to expect from Max Domi. Some crazy, boneheaded plays followed by one of the better goals you'll see all year.
Hopefully he can continue to do that and not do that once every 2 months at this point, because his last goal, Nick, was on October 28th. I didn't know that. I searched it up during the stream, and I was shocked to find out that it was that long ago against the Calgary Flames. Max Domi's last goal before this one in this game, the Blue Jays were still in the playoffs, so take that for what you will. But Nylander with a great game and Brube as well. I mean, I understand what he's saying, but that's literally the thing where you're like, hey, you got to score more goals than the other team. Like, yeah, we know, man. But no, they scored more goals. The finishing looked better in this game. They capitalized on a couple opportunities. And yes, they gave up the lead, right? They were up 3-1, but they came back with another goal and they ended up closing it out. And they got a bunch of empty netters. That was kind of weird. I don't know why Pittsburgh kept pulling their goalie, but ultimately, I think it was a good effort, which is good. They led in shots. That is a all right. And we're back for the second period here. The puck has dropped. Get this going here. Puck has dropped, and they were just saying on the broadcast that the slot, I can't remember the exact stat, but driving, scoring chances, and play from the slot in the first period was 25-5 for Team Canada against Czechia. So looking good so far. Looking good so far. Also forgot that Fibiger is on this team as well. I imagine this period will be a little slower. But we'll see. We'll see. Could be wrong. I'm sure a lot of the Czechia game plan is going to clean up a lot of what they allowed in the first. Curran dumps that in. Parekh, great play in the defensive zone. He's going to get the puck up, and it's going to get out. Here comes Reed over the line. He spins, gets it tape to tape in front. Oh, Martone with the one-timer just misses. What a save and what a play. Good chance to start this second period for Team Canada. Bouncing puck in on Carter George, and he makes that save. 18:35 left here in the second period. Canada has been dominating. Got a defensive zone face-off here for Team Canada as the puck was flipped in from about center and Carter George made the save. Whoa, hit from behind, no call. Martone's staying down. It's not Martone, excuse me. One of the benches is making a lot of noise. I don't know what that was about. Hage is getting smacked around by somebody on the on Czechia. Game's getting physical. It's getting chippy. These teams don't like each other. Cross rink. Aitchison shoots and it's just off a leg wide. Danford tries to keep it alive. Danford not the fastest skater. Lots to like from his game, though. Fibiger shoots. It's a little bit of a battle in front of the net. Here, check long shot. It's wide. Fibiger, Czechia has some good defensemen here. Fibiger of the Brampton Steelheads and Adam Jurček of the OHL's Brantford Bulldogs as well. That's a late hit. Lots of physicality to start this second period. Not so much speed and skill so far. Wow. Klima's a bowling ball out there. Brady Martin's feeling it. Michael Hage got it. Nice save by Carter George. I forgot that Brady Martin was a 5th overall pick last year. 5th overall. Or 2 years ago, it might have been. Was it? No, last year. 2025 draft pick. First round, 5th overall to Nashville. Crazy. Defensive zone face-off in the Canadian zone once again. Oh boy. How did they get that shot off of the face-off? That was the whole point of the face-off. Defensive zone face-off scheme. Luchenko stops up. He gets it towards the net. It's blocked. Trying to fight for the puck here. Gets back to the point, but Czechia is going to break out with it here. 3 away. Lots of physicality so far. Czechia has some big boys on their team as well. Oh boy, right in front. And a shot up wide. There is a penalty coming to Canada here. Delayed penalty. One-timer from the point. Blocked. 6-on-5 here for Czechia on the zone. Delayed penalty coming to Canada. And there's a deflection in front, and they score. It is 2-2 for Czechia. Not ideal. Not ideal. There was a delayed penalty coming to Team Canada there. Czechia has man on their team. That was tough. That was tough. Canada was bunching there. A couple tired bodies. Not good. Yeah, it's been sloppy. The defensive zone, that wasn't necessarily off the rush, but it's been sloppy off the rush, especially in this game. But I appreciate those plays. I really like those tip plays, shoot for the tip plays. Canada's got to get on their horse here. They've been dominating play, but they're getting outshot, and not by a lot. It's 14-12, but they're getting outshot, and tie game now. This was not going to be easy. Czechia has some solid players, man. Some good OHL players, some good CHL players. Enough with the fancy plays. See, between the legs, trying this and that. This is too good of a team. Too good of a team for that. TJ Ginnell doing that. Ginnell shoots it right at the doorstep. It was blocked and cleared away. I feel like something just happened behind the play. One of the benches is going crazy. Canada needed a nice save by Carter George. Good control there. Good control there. Then Danford there. A little bit of after the whistle extracurriculars. Love to see that from the Leafs prospect. Defensive zone face-off to the right of Carter George. Loose for a breakaway. Oh, no. Oh, that's a hook. Penalty coming to Czechia. Certainly a hook. Certainly a hook. Canada back to the power play here. They're second of the game. That was definitely a hook. That would have been, maybe not a breakaway, but a 2-on-1. 2-on-1. Gavin McKenna was almost away there for a breakaway. That would have been very nice. And Michael Hage would have been gone. He would have been lost. Two minutes for hooking. We have a Canadian power play here. Zayn Parekh and Gavin McKenna on the points here. And we have Brady Martin, I believe, out there. Oh, nice play. Right in front for Cole Rishney. McKenna collects it. Takes his time. Parekh has it now. Over to Michael Hage. He's got the shot. They're looking for that shot. Brady Martin shoots it. It's wide. High and wide. Puck gets cleared down the zone. Or down the length of the ice, I should say. Clearing there for Czechia. Parekh has it here. Of the, formerly of the Saginaw Spirit. He is a Calgary Flames prospect. Yurchek tries to clear it. He won't. It's bounced back to Cole Rishney. Back to the point. Rishney has it. Now Czechia is going to clear it once again. Canada power play not looking too dangerous. Parekh has it. Ginnell tips it in. I don't know why we're dumping and chasing here on the power play. But it's to the point. It's kept alive. Martone has it. He slows it down. He slows it down. He shoots it. It's blocked. He has it again. He passes off. Ginnell shoots. Big glove save by Orszalak, and he will hang on. Right shot, or right catching goalie in this one. So a little bit different for some of the shooters of Team Canada. Mike Johnson just made a great point that a lot of the guys on this power play are used to having the puck on the power play. And that's not the case here for Team Canada. Luchenko on the draw here. He scrums it. This looks like it might be a win for Canada. It is. It's back to the point. Brunick to Misa down low to TJ Ginnell. Back to Misa at the point. He's walking the line. He gets a shot. It's blocked. Martone keeps it alive for TJ Ginnell. Ginnell back to the point. Brunick has it. Brunick gets it over the corner. It's on the goal line. Luchenko has it. Luchenko down to Martone on the goal line. Martone hurling out in front. Looks like he wants to shoot it. He gets it. Brunick jam play at the side of the net. Nothing given, and we are back to full strength. Nothing given on that power play. Icing waved off for Czechia there. O'Reilly gets it in the zone. He's trying to kick it back to the point. Can't. Loses the puck. Shot back in from center by Canada. Down low. Czechia is still out shooting despite two power plays. 18-12. Two power plays for Canada, I mean. That was close to being offside. Shoots it just wide. Galvis gets hit by Braden Coots, a Vancouver Canucks prospect. Czechia seems comfortable. Very comfortable. Canada looks like they're just driving a lot, trying to make things happen. It's not happening, and Czechia seems okay about it. There we go. Green Tree has it now. He hasn't played in a few minutes. Might have not even played this period. Bourdain has it down in the corner. Cycles down low for Green Tree. This puck is rolling down on Carter George. It won't be icing. This period also kind of flying by. This has been good, fast-paced hockey here. Bourdain shoots it in. Canadians will give chase. McKenna to Michael Hage. Michael Hage's back on the ice. This line's been amazing. This second line for Canada has looked the most dangerous tonight. Brady Martin, McKenna, and Michael Hage of the Montreal Canadiens. A Nashville Predator, a Montreal Canadian draft pick, and a draft-eligible player. This line is cycling it around the zone. They look dangerous. Parekh, one-timer. Oh! He tried to get it over to Brady Martin. He was off balance to get that one-timer. Flips it back in front for McKenna. Nothing given. And it's cleared out to center. Good pressure by that second line of Canada once again. That's been their most dangerous line. Martin taking it in the zone. He gets it. Shoots it over to McKenna. Back to Martin in tight. And he couldn't get a handle on it. Parekh shoots it. It's down low. Brady Martin has it. He's trying to curl it right in front. He just gets a shot. It's blocked by the Czechia defense again. Gets out to the point, out to center ice. Bad giveaway by Carls there. That looked offside by Czechia in the offensive zone. Shot just wide of Carter George. Yeah, there's some great pressure there by that second line of Team Canada. But now Juracek just hit the post from the blue line on a floater. Here we go. 2-on-1 for Canada. TJ Ginnell and Porter Martone. And Ginnell shoots. It's a save by the Czech goaltender. And some extracurriculars after the whistle. Save by Orszalak. Some real good pressure from the Canadian offense there. The second line of Team Canada. But we're at a commercial break. We got 8:29 left in the period here. Czechia is out shooting Canada, but Canada looks good. They're maintaining a lot of play in the offensive zone. They have the majority of the high danger scoring chances. Let's get a roll call going. Where's everyone watching from, guys? Where are you all watching from in Canada? Are you watching from the US? Are you in Czechia? Are you cheering for Czechia? Let me know. Where are you guys watching from? I appreciate every single one of you who's tuned into this watch along of Team Canada versus Team Czechia. 2026 World Junior Hockey Championships. IIHF, some weird rules, but some good hockey, fast-paced hockey. We got a lot going on here in the second period. Got 8:29 left. Also, stay tuned for the intermission because we got some fun stuff coming up here. Using this as a bit of a platform for some others in Canada as well. But you can see here we got Scarborough's in the house. We got North Bay is in the house. Shout out North Bay. And we got, I just wanted to point out, bottom right, for those of you who are new here, if you're in the stream, 23,636 subscribers. Our goal by the end of the night is 23,645. If we can make that happen, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We're going to have some more watch-alongs here. We're going to have some fun stuff. So again, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. It's very easy. It's free. It's also free. A lot of people don't think it is. It is. It's free. You don't have to do nothing. And you get more great content. Play is back underway here. Luchenko has it down to Reshny. Reshny gets it to Bourdain. Back to Luchenko there. He's trying to keep it alive, but ultimately, the Czech forward got it off of him, and they clear, and it's back in the Canadian zone. Canada's trying to clear it out the center. They can't. It's in the slot, one-timer, and Czechia scores again. Canada could not clear the zone. Bad shift by that third. That third line is not looking good for Team Canada. Not loving that third line for Canada. 3-2 now for Czechia. They're out shooting Canada. That's a tough play for Parekh there. I mean, way out of position. Carter George can't, I mean, point blank for Sikora there in front of the net. Ridiculous. Ridiculous play there in the defensive zone from Canada. Shots are 18-13 for Czechia. It's now 3-2, which was my final score prediction. I hope it doesn't stay this way. Yeah, third line not looking good for Canada here. Don't love Bodin with Luchenko there. And who's the other one on that line? Forgetting at this time. Rishny. Not loving it. Let's get that second line out there, get some energy out. I believe the fourth line's out right now. That they are. NYA is out there. He's the 13th forward tonight. Out to O'Reilly. O'Reilly busting in the zone. Braden Coots down there on that fourth line as well. Two-on-one for Canada here. NYA trying to get it to the front. Good play by the Czech defense. O'Reilly shoots, it gets on goal. Green Tree gets another second chance opportunity on the rebound, but it's kept alive in the corner by O'Reilly. He's trying to dig it out. Hage's in there. Lots of cross checks to Hage here. Ref just said show some respect, telling the Czech player to get up off the ice because they were digging for the puck in the corner. I don't know if he was saying that towards the Czech defense or if you're saying that to the Canadian forward to show some respect, not digging at the feet. But either way, if the puck's lying there, I want it. I want that puck. Not a good showing in this period so far for Canada. Peter Sikora scored. My oh my, he's younger all of a sudden again. Wonder if he's related to Peter Sikora. Former Pittsburgh Penguin. Hage gets it in. Hage has been one of the best players for Canada tonight. The second line's back out there with Brady Martin and Gavin McKenna. Easily been their best line of the night, generating the most chances. Here's McKenna in on the forecheck. He wins the puck. He gets it to Hage. Hage is tripped up. No penalty. Turnover at the offensive zone again. Here comes Michael Hage in the zone. Trying to center it. McKenna gets it. He's in on the forecheck again. He's showing some physicality in this one. Czechia gets it out the center. Well, right in front, big save by Carter George gets that to the corner. We need something here, some offense. Here we go, 3-on-1, 2-on-1. Hage stops up. Just got to shoot it, Hage. Just got to shoot it. Would like to see you shoot that. Novotny gets a shot, saved by Carter George. Shots are 18-14 now. 19-14, excuse me. We got 5:10 left here in the second period. That's going to be icing against Canada. 5:05 to go in this second period with icing to Canada. Woo! That's been that's an exhausting one. Ginnell gets a warning off the draw. Should have bet the farm on Czechia. I don't know. This second line for Canada is buzzing. They might end up getting another one. Hefty slash by Mckenzie there. No penalty, though. He's lucky he didn't break that guy's stick. Oh, right in front again. Big save by Carter George. Czechia is getting a lot of 3-on-2 chances. A lot of 3-on-2. Lots of odd man rushes here. Something to clean up for the third. Right through the middle. Here comes Ginnell. He wins the puck battle. Shovels it to the front of the net. Nothing doing. Back into the corner. It's behind the net. Ginnell has it again. He gets out muscled. Here comes Mckenzie. He collects the puck. He gets it to the front. Or the point, I should say. Brunick shoots. It's blocked. Lots of block shots by Czechia today. Lots of block shots. Brunick has it. He gets it up the ice to Mckenzie. It's in the zone. Brunick has it again. He's going to send it in deep. Canada's going to give chase here. Yeah, I think it's a good point by Danford. Like, he is a defensive defenseman. That's why, you know, they obviously have him on the team. They have too many offensive guys. Like, Parekh is not a good defensive defenseman. Not too many offensive guys, but they have a couple offensive guys. But they've not looked good in this game, especially off the rush. They have not looked good. Canada's defense in transition has been horrible. So, and too much, like, passing up the obvious shot. Like, they got to keep this simple. They're going to find themselves in trouble. Canada could have had at least 3 goals tonight, passing up great opportunities. Trying to make that extra pass, trying to make that bang-bang play. You know, they're giving up too much. Too much. Let's see what they do here, though. We're off on a commercial here. Let's do another roll call before the end of the second period. Where's everyone watching from? Are you in Canada? Are you in the States? Let me know down below in the chat. Or maybe you're watching from Czechia. Maybe you want Czechia to win. Let me know. Let me know where you're watching from. Yeah, that would be basketball if US was Duncan. That would be basketball. Scarborough representing the house again. We got North Bay in the house. Shout out you guys. Yeah, showing the replay here back from commercial. A lot of odd man rushes for Czechia here. A lot of 3-on-2s. A couple 2-on-1s in this game, but a lot of interesting chances off the rush here that Canada has to clean up. Their defense is not, to me at least, eye test, has not been good in transition tonight. Shots are 10-4 for Czechia in the second. Overall, 21-15 for Czechia. Canada is getting beat right now. They are getting beat. Park Lawn and Lakeshore in the West End. Oh, it went up to center. O'Reilly has it. He has it at the line. He gets it down low to the goal line. Back to Parekh. Parekh shoots, and it's just wide. Matthews from London, Ontario. Parekh shoots and he scores! Zayn Parekh ties the game. What a shot from the point. Canada ties the game. It's 3-3. Bang. That's why you have him on the team. He taketh, and then he giveth. Last goal was his fault. This goal just floats it in on goal. That's what he does. High game. He just... Man, great release. Great release. Great little shot there from the point from Zayn Parekh. Gets Canada Tied up here. Just before the end of the second period. That's a huge goal. Sometimes those can be backbreakers for teams. We'll see what this is for Czechia. Hopefully some life here for Canada. Canada gets it back down deep. It's been a good, fast, physical game. Really enjoyed this so far. Canada's going to break out of their zone here. McKenna out to center. He gets it over to Michael Hage at center. Hage driving play. Try to bank it back to his teammate there, Brady Martin, but nothing given there. The second line of Canada back out on the ice. They are changing. First line of Porter, Martone, Michael Misa back out there. With Hage Ginnell with them on the top line. Turnover. Martone sends it back down deep. Michael Misa has it. Nobody really around him. They ran out of time. He lost the puck in his feet. Martone in front to Misa. He can't control it. Now he has it. Side of the net. Back to the point. Carl shoots. That's blocked. It's kept alive by Brunick. That's a nice play. Michael Misa gets it. Floats it around. Carls, he gets it back down low. They're cycling around here. This first line. Hage Ginnell, Michael Misa with the puck. Brunick has it at the point. He's walking the line. He's an NHLer. He shoots it in on goal. It bounces. Hage Ginnell has it behind the net. He's thinking of something. Oh, he tried to pick it up. He tried the Michigan. There's nothing else he could really do there. Well, I mean, he could do a lot, I'm sure. But Martone at the point. He just floats it in on goal. It's blocked by another Czechia defenseman. I believe that's Jurček again. Jurček floats it out. Can't get it out. Played with a high stick, though. 1:01 left in the second. And we're headed to one last commercial break before the end of the period. Zayn Parekh ties the game for Team Canada. It is 3-3. Hopefully heading into the third. I say hopefully, I mean, hopefully Czechia doesn't score. But, I mean, hopefully Canada does score before the end of the second. That would be electric to get one more on the board before the end of this period. How's everyone feel right now? Everybody feeling kind of confident? How are we feeling right now? We got a tie game, 3-3. Canada's getting outshot, though. Keep in mind. Ginnell's been the best forward on the ice for Canada. He's been driving a lot of play. I think Hague's been in and around it. Martin's been creating a lot of chances. The whole second line's been pretty good. Ginnell's been... Yeah, maybe if you're going to give the MVP of the game to somebody, it might be Ginnell. He's been very good this game. But I might give it to... Hague's been in and around it all game. He's looked quite good. Zayn Parekh, 9th overall last year. I think Canada will win 5-4. Canada's got this. Feeling like I don't want to be at work. I'm sorry, crankbait. Shots are 22-16 right now for Czechia. And we got 1 minute left here. 1 minute remaining in the second period. Puck is in the offensive zone, but it's broken out by Czechia to center. In the offensive zone now, Czechia. 25 seconds left here in this first period. Canada trying to defend. Some weird bounces off the boards in this game. It's flipped out to center by Zayn Parekh. Reed gets it, and he gets absolutely smoked. Czechia is finishing their checks. Oh, tough play at the line again. Don't give up a goal here in the final 2 seconds. And that is blocked and cleared. That is it for this period. You win. That's right, Crankbait. You win the third. You win the game. This is definitely in reach now. This looks good. Czechia has more shots. Canada has more high danger opportunities, I believe. They got to clean up these rush chances from Czechia. If they do that, Canada will win this game. They'll find a way to win this game. But we are headed to commercial. We'll be back for the third period, everyone. And speaking of World Juniors, we got an interesting update from, and I know there's a lot of Leaf fans in here, but I wanted to use this as a platform for both, a couple different creators here. Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers. And speaking of the World Juniors, there's an interesting update on some Vancouver Canucks prospects that have to do with the World Juniors and Team Canada. So let's take a listen to Mark now. We'll be back for the third period, guys. Hang tight. I'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Now, this is exciting as the Vancouver Canucks have multiple players ready to represent their country heading into the World Juniors. We get a look on exactly why the future of the Vancouver Canucks is a lot brighter than people are expecting. With hidden gems and top prospects ready to perform, we get to see exactly why fans should be fired up of the future of this team. We're going to break down everything you need to know from these key players, plus so much more. But before we get into that, I just want to give a huge shout out to everyone watching, and Merry Christmas to everyone watching, to yours and your family. I hope the holidays have been treating you guys incredible. Now, the big thing with the Canucks, we know at the very moment they're looking at a top pick in this draft, but that doesn't go over looking at the fact that they have multiple hidden gems within their system and top prospects, of course, that we're going to see showcased in the World Juniors coming this weekend. Now, looking at this, going into Friday, the opening of the World Juniors, we're going to get multiple players the Canucks have within their system showing out. Now, the first one I wanted to touch on was the very first game going into this tournament, where we do see Sweden going into a game with, of course, Wilson Bjork. Now, Wilson Bjork is a very interesting prospect. The Canucks drafted him in the 5th round, 143rd overall, and what we've seen out of Bjork just last season in the Swedish 1 League was he did play some games. Now, going into the juniors, he dominated 67 points in 43 games before coming to North America to play with Colorado College in his first season on North American ice. Now, looking at the season so far, we can see the 8 points in 15 games, and this is a prospect that a lot of people are going to start to realize how good of a talent he is. Now, the big thing is a lot of players coming over struggle when coming from Europe into North American ice to start their careers. But with Wilson Bjork, seeing him come straight in, and right now sitting with 8 points just behind a couple of guys that are not older than him, or are older than him, as he's 19 years old, but also players that have played on North American ice. The transition for Wilson Bjork has looked outstanding, and having those 5 goals and 8 points during this, I'm excited to see how he performs in this tournament with some players that he has played with in the past, including his brother, who's looking like a lottery pick heading into the draft. Now, the big thing with Wilson Bjork, this was his head coach of Colorado College speaking when saying he watched Bjork during the World Junior Showcase. Came away from there, and not to be dramatic, but somewhat blown away with how well he handled it. I think Vancouver has a steal in the 5th round, if I'm being honest. Now, a lot of people are going to look at this and say, hey, this is his coach. He's going to hype the kid up. But this was going into this summer before going to Colorado, saying that what he saw out of him in the showcase blown him away. Not only did it blow him away, but it also blew the World Juniors Sweden committee, as they did select him to represent Sweden heading into this game. And I'm excited to see Wilson Bjork continue to develop and what could turn into a great pick for the Canucks, a steal at 5th round going in as the future moves on. And I'm excited to see him jump to Abbotsford and hopefully into the NHL one day. Now, of course, going into the rest of this tournament, the second game, the game that a lot of people are going to care about the most, is of course the revenge game coming from Canada, where they're heading into Friday. Now, there is one player, of course, that every Canucks fan is excited to watch for Canada, and of course that is Braden Coots. Now, with Braden Coots, we know exactly what he brings: the leadership, the poise, the work ethic, and also a great point getter. 23 points in 17 games after playing not only the preseason for the Canucks, but also 3 NHL games. Now, Coots was an interesting name. A lot of people said, hey, maybe he doesn't crack this lineup, but we do see him make it into the lineup. And not only did the young Canucks forward make it into the lineup, but he's going in with a vengeance. The past 2 years, watching as a fan has been frustrating too, just watching. You always hate losing, even if you're not there. I love this quote coming from Coots going into his World Juniors Tournament debut, where he's going to represent Canada, and I think it's only a matter of time where we see him jump up this lineup. Seeing this quote coming from such a young kid, not only did he hate losing and win on the ice, but he hates losing watching his team as well. This is a future assistant or captain in the NHL. I know a lot of people looked and said, hey, Coots is not going to be named captain when he first comes in, but I do think at some point in his career, he's going to wear a letter for the Canucks. We've seen it in the World Juniors under 20, of course, going into last season. He's one of the youngest coaches in the WHL history as well. What we're seeing from Coots is outstanding. And I mean, even looking at a player survey coming from the WHL, Coots was the third most voted to win Player of the Year in the WHL, with 15% of votes from players that are currently playing against them. The future of Coots is going to be outstanding to watch. Just watching what this kid brings night after night is going to be something that we're not only going to have to get used to in the WHL or in the World Juniors, but also when he joins this Canucks roster, and it's only a matter of time before he's a full-time NHL player, which I think is going to happen as early as next season, and I cannot wait to see him representing the Canucks game after game. Now, going into the second day, Saturday, of course, we get Canada versus Latvia, but there's another game where a lot of people forget about a Canucks prospect, and of course, that is heading in to Switzerland's game, where we're seeing Samsonens take on in this tournament. Now, Samsonens is a very interesting one. Listed at 6'2" on the screen here, but he's actually up to 6'4", 220 pounds. This is a very young kid with an NHL-ready frame. Now, looking at the numbers, of course, playing in the Swiss A-League, which is against growing men. Actually, funny enough, Canucks legend Eric Brandstrom, shouldn't call him a legend, is currently on the same team as Samsonens, but seeing Samsonens develop is very interesting as well. A very young 19-year-old, 6'4", behemoth on the defensive end, 3 points in 31 games. Doesn't look the flashiest, but it just shows that the Canucks have been getting a lot of steals. I mean, looking through the draft, of course, Wilson Bjork coming in the 5th round, Samsonens a 7th round pick, and of course, Coots is not a late round pick, 15th overall. But a lot of people looked at that and said, I'm surprised he maybe slid that far. We've seen what he can bring. But Samsonens is going to be very exciting. Maybe this is the Dorov 2.0, and it just shows the future of this Vancouver Canucks team, even from players that were not listed on this roster. I mean, looking through Riley Patterson, 41 points in the OHL this season in just 30 games. Riley Patterson, I cannot wait the Pedersen to Pedersen to Pedersen to Patterson goal when we do see that at points. And even Gabe Schrott, a late round pick, 24 points in 30 games. You can work your way down. There's so many guys in the system, and for a Canucks team that didn't have a lot of top end draft picks, we know 15th overall, you took Tom Willander around the same with Jonathan Lekromacki. But the Canucks management and their scouting department deserves a bit of credit for who they've drafted. Now, a lot of these guys haven't conveyed and made the NHL yet, but it just shows that they're getting a lot of high-end prospects. Someone has to hit at some point. But what is your guys' thoughts on this? What is your thoughts heading into the World Juniors? Do we see Canada win it all? Does another team take it? Who are you most excited to watch out of all the Canucks prospects? Because I think Braden Coots is an obvious answer, but I think Wilson Bjork is going to be very interesting. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. And speaking of comments, I just want to go straight into comment today coming from Ian. Merry Christmas, and I want to once again thank everyone for watching. Merry Christmas to everyone watching this. Happy holidays. I hope it's been incredible. And listen, I want to give a huge shout out for not only watching the video today, but for the last 2.5 years. It's been outstanding. I'm not going to slow down, and I want to continue making content. Plus, there's so much I'm going to bring in the new year, so keep your eye out for that. But I've been your host, Mark Pie. Mark Pie. I will not take away from Christmas dinner too much longer, so take care, guys. And listen, I want to give a shout out to Habs Digest, Josh Goss. He bought me a Hot Wheel back there. He's a huge Tyler Myers fan, so go spam Tyler Myers in Habs Digest videos as well.
There is no way they do this as an NHL insider reveals the Oilers' next trade target, and an idea that comes from outside the box. We'll break down who that is, and meanwhile, the Oilers, in their last game before the Christmas break, it is a Battle of Alberta. They're booking in Christmas with a game tonight and then a game on the 27th there. But for those that love Seinfeld, it's Festivus. Yes, it's the day before Christmas received there. And no gifts, just airing of grievances. And I know a lot of Oiler fans have some grievances to air. But before we get into that, folks, make sure you subscribe here to the channel for any and all Oiler news. Now, it's not so much news, it's more so speculation, as there is a holiday roster freeze in effect for an entire week there. And it's not until December 28th where teams can, do things to their roster, whether it be putting players on waivers, their trades in loans. But that does not mean the Oilers are exempt from any trade rumors there. And from Pierre LeBrun, it says, probably not surprising, but hearing that some teams have checked in on Marc-Andre Fleury to see if there's any chance at all he would consider playing again. Again, not surprised teams with goalie needs would want to check in on it. I know the Oilers have been trying to patch that hole for a long time there with the Tristan Jarry trade involving Stuart Skinner there. Connor Ingram with that trade with the Utah Mammoth, and a whole lot of other ideas there. But the Oilers in Marc-Andre Fleury linked yet again there. Not just Pierre LeBrun, but also Daily Faceoff's Frank Saravalli. There's been a lot of talk about Alex Lyon, but I have to think that one name that the Edmonton Oilers are thinking about today is Marc-Andre Fleury. Of course, Alex Lyon in the Buffalo Sabres on a 6-game win streak there, so that probably drove up the price of Alex Lyon for now until Buffalo inevitably crumbles. But I think he's got the itch to keep playing. If he's going to come back, it's going to be with a team that has an authentic chance to win, and that's got the Edmonton Oilers written all over it. I think for a guy who's really made it home in Minnesota, there's no room for him there with Jesper Wallstedt and Philip Gustafsson there. And again, yeah, those are two fantastic goalies. So Minnesota, as much as they love Flower when he was, between the pipes for the Wild, with the the state of the team right now there with Quinn Hughes, they are in a win now situation there. Marc-Andre Fleury doesn't really appear to be in their cards now. For me, this would be a really interesting one. As I just said, 41 years old there. He does have the cup pedigree, but Marc-Andre Fleury, I think, has taken a step back in recent years there. I mean, still had a winning record last year with the Minnesota Wild, 14-9-1, but the numbers there not so desirable there, comparing those to his other years, his first season with the Minnesota Wild, the Chicago Blackhawks, in the Vegas Golden Knights, putting up consistent 900 save percentages there. But in his last two seasons, a goals against average of 2.93 and a 2.98 with a save percentage of .899 and .895. And again, yeah, you can pretty much round that up to 900. But with the state that Marc-Andre Fleury is in, yeah, sure, he has the itch, but there's multiple variables here in this situation. Number one, does he want to come to Canada? Does he want to play for a Canadian team? And if he does want to play for a Canadian team, is Montreal, are the Canadians in his in his crosshairs there? Does he want to go home to Montreal? No, Montreal, they have had their fair share of goalie problems there, whether it be Jakub Dobish, Jacob Fowler, in Sam Montembeault there. And not just that, but does he really want to put up with the Canadian media, whether it be in Edmonton or Montreal there? And another variable with the Edmonton Oilers, their cap space. Yeah, they're going to have to clear a lot of room because Flower's not coming back for league minimum. If he has to be dragged away from his home there, becoming a family guy for the first time in his life, it's not going to be for pennies. It's going to be, something of a prorated $2 million contract there. And that's just, a big gamble. Sure, he's got the resume, he's got the stats, he's got the Stanley Cups, the Olympic gold medals to, back up his case here. But at 41 years old, this could turn into a situation like, the Winnipeg Jets in Jonathan Toews, with a comeback there, and it just hasn't really panned out for either side there. So again, it would be, a high risk, somewhat decent reward for the Oilers, and it would seem cool, but at the end of the day, I just don't think, it's in the cards for the Edmonton Oilers. I think they're going to see what they have with Jarry, Ingram, and Pickard there, sort of that Bermuda Triangle of goaltending, and then maybe make a bigger splash at the trade deadline there. Someone who hasn't, been retired recently in the NHL. Not just that, but, there is a bit of a goalie logjam there, not just with the NHL, not just with the AHL, but the ECHL as well there. Connor Unger has put up tremendous numbers in ECHL there with the Fort Wayne Comets in the Oilers organization there. And again, it's just a logjam. You have, Pickard, Jarry, Ingram, Matt Tompkins, Nathaniel Day, Samuel Janssen, and Unger, who I just mentioned. But they also have the guys who they haven't signed there with Emil Vinny, Daniel Salonen, and Ty Taylor. So if you bring in Flower, you're probably going to have to waive either one of Pickard or Ingram there. It'll probably be Pickard. And of course, what we saw, earlier on in the season where the Oilers tried to make a goalie change there by, sort of removing Calvin Pickard from the equation. And the leadership core of the Oilers said, hey, what are you doing? Where are you going with a guy? Where are you going with Calvin Pickard? He's loved in the locker room there, which, a guy like that, very popular in the dressing room, but you have to realize, hey, sometimes winning, you got to prioritize winning over friendships there. But again, I just don't see Marc-Andre Fleury in the cards for the Edmonton Oilers there. I think you roll a dice with Jari, Pickard, in Ingram right now for the Edmonton Oilers. And hey, if you're relying on a 41-year-old goaltender to save your season, I don't think you're as much of a cup contender that you think so after all there. But with the Oilers, it's always interesting to see those speculation articles there. Hey, so-and-so linked to the Edmonton Oilers there. Sometimes I don't humor them, but sometimes you just have to say, hey, you know what? It'd be a cool idea way back in the past, but right now it just doesn't work for the Edmonton Oilers. But what does work for the Oilers, wearing their alternate creams, which they are 3-0, and they're dominating the opposition in these uniforms. I don't know what the secret formula for this team in those jerseys are. They're beautiful, and the fact that they're 3-0 in those puts the cherry on top, and even more so, it is a battle of Alberta before Christmas there. The Calgary Flames roll into town against the Edmonton Oilers at Rogers Place. It's going to be a great one tonight there, both on ice and in the crowd there. You have those spirited battles with the Battle of Alberta with Calgary in Edmonton. Taking a look at the Oiler lineup tonight here, Ryan Hopkins with Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman. That top six has been phenomenal for the Oilers in the past couple games. We'll get into those stats in just a second there. Vasily Podkolzin with Leon Draisaitl in, Jack Roslovic on that second line yet again there in the bottom six, which I think, has been, dragging down the Oilers a little bit in recent games here with Andrew Mangiapane, Adam Henrique, in Matt Savoy there. And to top it all off, Max Jones with Trent Frederick, after a one-game healthy scratch, makes his return to the Oiler lineup tonight as the fourth-line center with Matthias Janmark on the back end. There's still no Jake Wallman. He won't be available until in the new year there, so the Oilers will have to roll with Matthias Ekholm in, Evan Bouchard with Darnell Nurse and Al Regula, and then Spencer Stastny in Ty Emberson. Now, Trent Frederick, he's sort of, been through it a whole lot this season here for the Edmonton Oilers, but he's using this as a restart. Mentally, it's about having a restart, trying to start the year over. You can't go back to the past and play better as much as you'd love to, so you use the opportunity as a restart and start my season today. Now, I want to cheer for this guy, way back in the playoffs when he had that spirited fight with, I do believe it was Nick Hage of the Vegas Golden Knights. I wanted to cheer for this guy so much. I saw what he did in Boston, brought over to the Edmonton Oilers. He's a gritty, hard-nosed guy. Oil Country loves every single type of player that has had that style of play, wear the orange and blue or the copper and blue, back in the 90s and early 2000s, but just hasn't been up to par so far in his, 8-year contract, year 1 of 8, and he just hasn't been up to par. But what has been up to par in the past 10 games there, Connor McDavid recently named the first star of the week in the month of December, or the second week of December, I should say. But no matter, he's still a star no matter what week or month it is there, with 26 points in his last 10 games, 12 goals and 14 assists there. But not just that, that's not just it here, folks. There's more. Leon Draisaitl, 2 goals and 19 apples for 21 points in his last 10. Hyman, 8 goals, 4 assists for 12. Ryan Hopkins, 4 and 8 for 12 points, and then Podkolzin in Savoy there. Even Savoy in his last 10 games, 4 goals for the kid there, and you always love to see his confidence boosted. Had a bit of a quiet start to the season in Edmonton, but hey, who didn't? That seemed to falter the entire team there, so that top.
We're back for the third period between Team Canada and Czechia in the 2026 IIHF World Junior Hockey Championships. Third period just getting underway here. TJ Ginnell, they're spotlighting him. He's been fantastic this game. It's been unbelievable. Love Gordon Miller and Mike Johnson. Good combination there. Centering pass in front. Nothing given there for Canada. Reminder that if this does go to overtime, it is 3-on-3 as well. But we would have a shootout to decide the winner if it went that far. Porter Martone on the near side. He's going to try and drive the net. He got knocked off stride. He tries to get it to the front of the net, but he lost the handle. TJ Ginnell in on it. Michael Misa there. He wins the puck battle. It's down low. TJ Ginnell with it against the boards. Porter Martone. That was a cross check to the chest. All the way down the ice. And icing against Czechia. Had some technical difficulties there, guys, but we're back, I believe. I believe we are back. I've had some tech difficulties all night tonight, but that's how we roll. David's saying that he believes Team Canada will win, but Czech will play a more physical game. And that's a game that we'll see if Canada can keep up with. It'll be interesting. 18-10. I think I missed something trying to... What did Ben Danford just do? I missed that. I've been having tech difficulties all night. They were laughing. I heard them laughing there, but I missed it. What did Ben Danford do? If somebody could throw it in the chat. Didn't get a penalty for it, whatever it was. Another block. I would love to see the block shots after this game. Czechia is a physical team that loves to lay the body on the line in front of the net. Gavin McKenna in the zone. He gets it over to Brunick. I'm watching a replay of what just happened with Ben Danford. Juracek just filled his man in. I just saw the replay now, yes. Profit. He he took whoa! Took a while to turn there, to pivot. Oh! What is this? We got a power play coming. Team Canada power play coming. Minor penalty for roughing. Who's in the box here? Is that Juracek? Hit from behind, yeah? Or what was it? Oh, he punched him in the face. To Braden Coots, right in the face. Punched him right in the face. Power play hasn't looked great tonight. The first one looked okay. Second one not great. They haven't had they've had one shot on goal. They've had one shot on goal. Oh, not good. Czechia's killing time here. At center. They're going back into their own zone now. And they throw it to center. Come on, guys. Get this puck back. Carter George stops it behind the net. Let's go here. We got power play, man. You got opportunity to win this game. Parekh gets it in the zone. Michael Hage has it on the near boards. He gets it to McKenna. McKenna down low near the goal line to Rishi. McKenna cross ice to Parekh. Parekh gloves it down. Shoots and scores! Zayn Parekh does it again. Zayn Parekh does it again. Almost the same goal. Almost the exact same goal. He taketh, and then he giveth, and then he giveth again. He just walked in and shot it. It wasn't even a hard shot. He just put it in there. Great shot, great placement, great placement. Zayn Parekh again, his second of the game. On the power play, Canada's up 4-3. Beautiful. Beautiful. Great placement on the shot. Not a hard shot. He just knew where he wanted to put it in that area. That's a special player. Offensively. Offensively. Good resilience from this team. Here we go. We're up 4-3 now. Shots are 22-19 for Czechia. 15:56 left here in the third period. Zayn Parekh on the power play, second of the game from Gavin McKenna and Cole Rishny. From McKenna and Rishny. Oh, nice move by Martone. It's right in front of the net. The Czech goaltender has it. He's on top of it. And they blow it dead. That was a nice little play to throw it in front there by Porter Martone, the captain of this team, number 22. Nice little play. Yeah, nice little shot. Nothing crazy. Just puts it in on goal there. McKenna with 2 points. Zayn Parekh with 2 goals. And an icing against Czechia. Ben Dafford back for the icing again. Guys, before we wrap up today, because we only got 15 minutes left in this period, it's been another great stream. As you can see at the bottom there, 23,637. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Our goal by the end of the night is 23,645. So if you can make that happen, that would be awesome. We really appreciate it here on the channel, and we're going to have a bunch more watch-alongs. We're going to have some more content on the channel. Should be a lot of fun. $23-19 are the shots for Czechia. Defensive zone face-off win for Czechia. They get it out of the zone to center ice. And it goes cross ice. It's in the defensive zone for Canada now. It's behind the net. Beaudain's got it. Denway throws it to center. No call, no call. Wow, the goaltender left to go to the bench, but there was no call on that play. He fell. There was no trip. I don't know is the answer, Prophet, at this point. If there were to be a stream, I think it would be the Leafs, but they're at offsetting times, so there could be some fun stuff where we watch both, maybe. Oh, Czechia just scored. That was a ugly one. That was an ugly one. Dale Hunter's not happy. Defensive zone for Canada has been a problem all game. That was an ugly goal. Like, why is everyone wide open? The defensive coverage is horrendous. Ben Danford's on the floor, and then your center and the left defenseman are going to the same guy. Danford, I have to say, Leafs fan, obviously, right? Danford just got completely out-muscled there. He was on the floor. Tie game, 4-4. All right. Let's see what they're going to do here. See how they respond again. It's the World Juniors, folks. Not going to be easy. 24-20 are now the shots. 14:39 left here in the third period. 4-4. Canada was up 1-0. Then they were up 2-1. Then they were down 3-2. It was 4-4. Oh, here comes McKenna to center. He's in the zone. He drops it back. Reed, the defenseman, jumped in on the play there. He had nothing. Vanak is in the zone. He plays for... He high sticks Michael Hage, but there's no call there. He plays for the Brantford Bulldogs in the OHL. Yeah, defense has not been good for Canada. I wouldn't say this is a disaster. These are two good teams. But if you clean up that defensive play, this could be a different game. Canada could easily win this game. They haven't been able to shut that down yet defensively. That's a problem for the rest of the game too, because if that continues, there's been a lot of defensive zone breakdowns like that. That's going to be a problem. Here comes Misa at the center. He's with Porter Martone and TJ Ginnell, who curls, drags, and scores! What a shot from TJ Ginnell, who is definitively, I think, the player of the game now. 5-4 for TJ Ginnell. He's got to win the MVP of this one, I think. It's probably going to be Parekh because of points, but... Curl, drag, scores. What a shot. Nice play to drive the middle of the ice there by Mike Misa. Drives the net. He creates that space, that opportunity. Great play. Martone driving the middle of the ice there as well. Good stuff. Good stuff from that line. That first line's really picked it up. Well, this has turned into a game, hasn't it? This has been a lot of fun. There we go. 13:20 left here in the third. Canada on the prowl again. It's thrown in front. Just missed. It's kept alive. Thrown to the nets. Blocked by Adam Juracek once again. Kept alive by Canada. Brunick trying to get it. It would have been a hand pass, so he had to play. It was an awkward play. 13 minutes left here. Shots 25-21 for Czechia. Canada's definitely worked their way back into this game in terms of that, but they've definitely controlled a lot of the offensive zone play and high danger scoring chances, a lot of pressure as well. This has been a good game. I've enjoyed this. Coots gets it out to center. Last Canada goal at 6:32. TJ Ginnell from Michael Misa and Mckenzie. Michael Misa made that play happen. That was a good play. Oh, nice play by Aitchison. He throws it back in the zone. Just wide of the net. O'Reilly grabs it. Beaudin on the prowl. Not the fastest player. Beaudin is. He's forechecking though. He's making something happen. Nice play by Denway there. The 5th overall pick of this last season's draft, 2025. Back to the point. That is shot to the moon and out of play. And we will get a whistle, and we will get a commercial break. Some high-flying action. We're back in the game. Not even back in the game. We are on top now. Canada 5-4 on a goal by TJ Ginnell. Great opportunity and a great goal. Let's do a roll call here. This could be our last commercial break of the game. I doubt it. It's probably one of the last ones, but let's get a roll call here. Where's everyone watching from? And who are you a fan of? Not just Canada or Czechia, but your NHL team. Leave it in the comments below. Not just in the comments below, but the chat. Yeah, Misa did make that goal happen. It was fantastic. Yeah, great screen by Michael Misa. Yeah, Jerome McGinley's son. Pretty cool, actually, to see him play. Make Team Canada as well. He's going to be a special player. Utah draft pick. Utah's got something brewing there. Didn't come out the gate swinging like Vegas, but they got some good prospects coming up through the pipeline. Not even that. They have a couple good guys on the team right now that have just made the team. Just making their impacts now. Back from commercial here. Shots 25-21. Czechia. I'll read these out in a second here. Puck is down. Martone is driving play here. He shoots and the Czechia's player's stick goes flying. Good forecheck here from Martone. He's got the big frame. He's got to use it. Good back check here from Hage. Ginnell. Wins this puck battle. Prophet says, from Alberta. He's a Leafs fan. And, of course, Canadian. Watching the game from Ontario's capital, Toronto. Shout out David. James's favorite NHL team is the Sharks. And he's watching from Syracuse. And he's going for Team USA. Igor Shenikov, going to be a stud. Oh, nice play in the slot. Oh, it's blocked again. Michael Hage had a great opportunity there in the slot. Perhaps Tej will be in the NHL with Bronny James. Yeah, Tej again, I think, has a way bigger upside than Bronny James. Oh, back to the point. Shot scores! Yes! Nathan Mckenzie from the... Nathan Mckenzie from the point, ladies and gentlemen. Bang, 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 bang. 6-4. Huge, huge goal for Canada in a game that's been so tight. There was no coverage on that one. What a shot. What a shot. Now they're rolling. They got to close this game out. They got to close this game out. Ontario's capital, not Canada. Canada's Ottawa. Ontario's capital is Toronto. They're buzzing now. Fourth line's out for Canada. Braden Coots is buzzing. Yeah. Macronial, I totally agree. Good observation. Of course, you got to shoot where, you know, in that moment, wherever you can, really. But you're right. Crankbait. Who's to say it's going to stay 6-4? Shots 25-22 now for Czech. Yeah. Nice play by Hage there to get that, or Hage, to get that back to the point to Nathan Mckenzie. With a great shot right under, low, right under the glove, right over the pad. You love that. You love that as a left shot. But this is a right catching goaltender, which was pretty interesting. Usually the blocker's there. So he got a piece of it, but it's fine. It went in. Adam Juracek back behind his own net. He's going to break this puck out. Nice hard shot from the point. That is stopped by Carter George. Great stop there by the Canadian goaltender. That just went off Adam Juracek's head at the line. He gives it away. Beauden's in. He's there with Denwye. Oh, right in front. Great opportunity for Zayn Parekh. Almost got a hat trick off the rush there. Oh, nice little move. He cuts back. Tries to get in front. Too many fancy plays. Just get that puck to the net. We got 9:20 left here in the third. Sticks big hit at the line by Reed. The Canadian defenseman stands up his man at the blue line. 6-4 here for Canada. Shots 25-22 for Czechia. I don't know what that play was by Denwye at the line there. The all QMJHL line. Riley chips it out to center. Canada doesn't look like they're necessarily slowing down here, which is good. Oh, whoa. Nice little play there from Czechia, but Canada's back the other way. Top line, Michael Misa's driving. Oh, he cuts to the middle. It was a nice move. It was a good idea. Brunick keeps it alive down low. Michael Misa, he gets it to the front. Martone is there. This first line has created in this third period a little bit better. Wow, that's a penalty? That's a penalty? I mean, sure. Is that for holding? I mean, sure. But is that for holding? That was, that's a penalty in the World Juniors. Okay. That is a tough... I get the double IIHF has different rules, but that is a tough one to call with 8 minutes left here in a 2-goal game. I was also very off and very wrong. I thought this was going to be a 3-2 game. This is anything but that at this point. Yeah, no, Canada's in a good spot, Prophet. I totally agree with you. Latvia, I mean, that game's going to be it's probably, probably going to be a high-scoring game tomorrow, one-sided. Denmark, I mean, they got some good players. Same with Latvia. Like, they have some players, but as a team, I mean, Canada's probably, obviously there was the upset. There was the upset last year with Latvia, but see what happens here. Martin did look shocked off that play. Gonna redo this face-off here. I know, but Latvia, we all remember what happened last year. Are we doing this face-off again, guys? Let's figure it out here. Figure it out here. Let's get this face-off going here, guys. Oh, this is horrible. Holy smokes, what are we doing here? Figure this out! They're adding time to the clock. Drop the puck! Wow, all of that for a clean face-off win for Canada. That is a joke. What a joke that was. Sikora. I think it's Sikora, but they're pronouncing it Sikora. Shot blocked by Brunick in front. Brunick plays for the Pittsburgh Penguins in the NHL. Team Canada defenseman number 4. Oh, nice play at the line by Luchenko to buy some time. Czechia has it. They're going around the zone now. Galvis has also been very good tonight. Oh, deflection play. It's a shot blocked by Brunick off his hand. He does not look good. He is shaken up. He's going to play this puck, though. He looks okay. Not out. Stopped at the line. Galvis looks great for Czechia tonight. Smooth skater. Blocked by Brunick again off the same arm. 45 seconds left in the power play. Sikora down low. Big save by Carter George. It's behind the net. Luchenko's chasing after it. It's at the line. Stopped again. It goes cross ice. That's a shot. High off the glass. It's on the near wall. They're fighting for it. Oh boy. Give and go play. It's a jam play at the side of the net. And Carter George has it. 11 seconds left in the power play. 6:21 left in the third. 6-4 Canada. 27 shots of 23 for Czechia. Holy smokes. Right in the hand. He took that shot right in the hand, guys. $11 seconds left here on the power play. Czechia wins the draw. They get it back to the point. It's a shot. It's blocked. Baudouin blocks that shot. Power play is over. We're back to even strength. One-time shot high off the glass. Danford gets the puck. He flips it out to center. And it's over the head. It's to Martone. He's on a half breakaway. He gets it back to Baudouin. He shoots. Big save. There's no rebound. There is no rebound. It's swallowed up. Someone just got dumped. And we're going to commercial. That was a great play there. Great play there by great heads up play from Ben Danford. Get it to Porter Martone streaking out of the box. He gets it to Baudouin. He gets the shot. There was no rebound on the play. Sorry, I said Nathan Mckenzie. It was Ethan Mckenzie that scored that goal. Apologies. Ethan Mckenzie made it 6-4 for Canada. Less than 6 minutes to go here in the third period. We're at commercial break. Type W in the chat if Canada's going to win. Type L in the chat if Czechia is going to win. W in the chat if Canada wins this game. L in the chat if Czechia wins this game. Let's get that spammed in the chat. Let's get that going right now. Dubs in the chat if Canada wins. L's if Czechia is going to win this game. 6-4 Canada right now. Canada also, by the way, plays at 4 o'clock tomorrow against Latvia. Afternoon game. We got an L, we got a W, we got another W. Shout out Matthew, you've been watching the whole time as well. Crankbait with the dub. Canada's going to come home with the dub. Less than 6 minutes here. Shot 27-23 for Czechia. Oh, they were butchering these face-offs, man. They're butchering these face-offs. Drop the puck. There we go. Face-off won by Czechia. But Canada giving chase. This is what the Leafs forecheck should look like, by the way. Like, they're just winning pucks back. Canada's been winning pucks back. Oh, big hit there. Brady Martin. Czechia has the puck below the goal line. Shot into Carter George. He makes the save, and that's swallowed up pretty easily by the Canadian netminder. Another failed face-off. Canada wins the draw. Back behind their own net. Trying to get it out. Did not clear it. They will now, though. TJ Ginnell. To Martone. He's trying to settle it. He does. He puts it towards the net. That's gloved. And he holds on to it. The Czech goaltender. Net was cleared there. Pretty aggressively. Nothing crazy, though. That's what I like to see. Spam those W's. Canada's taking home that W. Spam those W's. Sikora, who's the captain of Czechia, taking this draw against Michael Misa. Misa wins it, but Czechia gets possession. Flips it out to center. Misa tips it back into the zone. He's given chase. Here's TJ Ginnell. This first line's out again. They've been very good in the second half of this game. Nice. Misa up through the middle. Gets it over to Martone. It's just chipped away from him. Good defensive play. He throws it down low. Out to center here. Czechia in the offensive zone. It's a 2-on-1, and they score. Galvis has been very good for Czechia. He scores. It is 6-5. This is getting a little dangerous. This is getting a little dangerous. I don't understand that pinch from Cameron Reed of the Kitchener Rangers on that play. Completely out of position, and then TJ Ginnell too, and it turns into a 2-on-1, and that's a tough one to give up. All right. Canada's second line's out there again. McKenna loses that puck battle. Brady Martin, Gavin McKenna, Michael Hage out there for Team Canada. Ben Danford's out there with Aitchison. Hage tries to get it back over on a 2-on-1, which turned into a 2-on-2. A nice reverse hit from Brady Martin. Creates some space. Aitchison shoots. That's his game. He's a goal scorer. He's a defenseman, but he's a goal scorer in the O. Oh, nice wraparound chance. Oh, and Hage just misses. Just misses. Carter George, I think, is in net just because he has more experience and he's been here before. Ivan Kovic, while being smaller, is probably the better goaltender. Still a lot to learn from... He's still young, though. But he's a good goaltender. A lot of these goals are bad defensive breakdowns. That last one was a bad defensive breakdown as well. Like, it's not a clean play. Shots are now 32-26 for Czechia. Canada's got to close this out. Oh, nice steal. It's thrown in front. Nothing. Got 3 minutes, 3:10 left here in the third period. Three-minute warning. That's blocked by Denye, I believe. Canada's just standing watching now. Come on, guys. Galvin puts it back in. Brunick. Oh, pizza through the middle, man. What is that? Extra pep on that one. Oh, shoot. Brunick gets pressured, and he's lost the puck. This is an NHL defenseman. That is Brunick. Pizza through the middle of the zone. He plays in the NHL. He's in the NHL. That is a shocking play at this point in the game. Oh, my God. Two minutes left. 2-minute warning. Martone's racing to center. The puck is out into the Czech zone. He almost wins that puck race. He's a bit of a slower skater, Martone. Oh, it's getting chippy here. 145 left in the third. Canada has possession. They flip it out to center. Another puck race here. Michael Misa giving chase. He's going to win that puck battle. Martone's giving chase now. Misa has the puck again at center. He gets it back to his defense. D-to-D. 1:30 left here in the third. TJ Ginnell has it. He dumps it into the zone. Not on net. Back behind the goal line. Here comes Czechia back out to center. Tries to make a move at center. He gets it back into the zone. Carter George stops the puck behind the net. Danford tries to break the puck out. It's a turnover at the line. It's deflected out of play. 1:07 left. The goalie's going to come out. I believe there's going to be a face-off in Canada's zone here. Oselik goes to the bench. Extra attacker for Czechia. And I do wonder who's coming on the ice here for Canada. I would imagine it's going to be that top line. Although they were just out there. So we'll see what they do with this here. I wonder if one team is going to call timeout. That's a tough play. I thought that went through the 5-hole of Carter George. That's a tough play. And I believe Parekh on that last goal actually got a deflection on that. So that is a tough one. Someone called the timeout here. I believe it's Czechia that called the timeout. And it is. Czechia calls timeout. 6-5. Canada. 1:07 left in the third. Shots are 32-26 for Czechia. Looks like Hage, McKenna, O'Reilly, Martone, Mckenzie, and Brunick for Canada. Which is a weird mix of lines here. I believe, actually, it might just be the third line going out. Baudin, O'Reilly. Here we go. Martone's also out there. Baudin, O'Reilly. Brunick on the back end. Oh boy. Here we go. Get this puck down. Get it down. Let's go. Drop this puck. Let's go. Face-off win by Canada. It's thrown off the boards. Baudin up to Martone. Empty net. He ices it. 7-5. That's game. The captain with the empty netter. And that should do it. That should do it. That should be it. 1 minute left in the third. 7-5. Whew. Porter Martone, former captain of the Brampton Steelheads. And current captain of Team Canada. Puts it in. Perfect. Martone just got a penalty? What did he do? A little tap and he got a penalty for that? He kind of got held up. Oh, man. Martone just scored an empty netter and he just took a penalty going by the bench. That would never happen in North America, by the way. North American rules. North American rules. This is obviously in North America, but... Wow, okay. So Czechia goes on the power play here. Frank Bate, don't get ahead of yourself here. I'm getting a little nervous. Going on a power play. Martone slapped one of the players on the back. So Canada on the penalty kill here for the last minute of the game. Czechia's power play is 0 for 1 in this game, and it has 3 shots. Porter Martone from Baudin. Can't say that name. And Ethan Mckenzie on that empty netter. 45 to go here in the third. 7-5. I don't believe the goaltender is pulled here for Czechia either. Nope, goaltender's still back in the net. They're trying to gain the zone. They do now. Stolen by Sam O'Reilly. Goaltender's still in. We got 25 left here in the third. It's dumped back in the zone. Jurček's going for it. 7-5 Canada. We got 20 seconds left here in the third. This could be it right here. This was a great game. 10 seconds. It's back out to the point. Jurček shoots. Blocked. And that'll do it. Blocked again. That'll do it. Canada wins. The opener against probably the toughest team they'll play in the round robin. Czechia. 7-5. Was not expecting that high of a score. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Czechia loses to Canada in the opener of the World Juniors. Pep talk to Orsulik from his teammates. Great game by Canada. Offensively, defense has got to be cleaned up against a team like Czechia. I don't know how many times you're going to score 7 goals against top teams in this tournament, but great play by Hage, Ginnell, Porter, Martone, and gang. We'll stick around. We'll stay live here for the players of the game. But a great win by Canada, 7-5. I would say Hage, Ginnell probably player of the game. Could be Zayn Parekh as well. If they're going based off points and goals, we'll see. We'll see. That was a good one. Player of the game presentations coming here. Thank you, Quiet. I appreciate you tuning in. Hope to see you back soon for our next stream. Appreciate you. David says, game over. 7-5 win by Canada World Junior team over Czech. An ugly game defensively, but unlike the Raptors' own Friday game, 20-point loss to the Washington Wizards. Horrible, by the way. A win for Team Canada. Let's go. Great way to open this tournament because it should be smooth sailing the rest of the way. Hopefully they win this group now. Thanks, Crankbait. I appreciate you, man. Thank you all for tuning in. It's a lot of fun to do these. Player of the game for Team Czechia is, I believe, Thomas Pulten. Thomas Pulten. Playing some tunes here. Zayn Parekh gets the player of the game for Canada. Zayn Parekh with 2 goals. Holy Mackinac. He gets the player of the game for Team Canada. That's right, Prophet. Whenever I stream, whatever team I'm cheering for, they win. It's proven. Proven. Thank you, Matthew, for tuning in. Yes, that is exactly who Zayn Parekh is. He is the the Calgary Flames version of Evan Bouchard. And they're playing Oh Canada here. Canada wins. We're going to sit in silence for this anthem here. Big win by Canada. That's it. That's the anthem. Final score 7-5. Canada wins. Great opening game to this tournament for this Canadian team. We'll leave you with this. We'll leave you with the hip. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll see you for another video tomorrow. We'll see you for another video tomorrow. We'll be back with more streams. Thank you, everyone. All the regulars. We appreciate you guys. And we'll be back. We'll see you for another video tomorrow. Back for another stream soon. Have a great night, everyone. Let's go Canada. Let's go Canada.
Digest your daily dose of